When you lose, what do you feel? Is it sadness, anger, despair? For me, it was all three, but that's changed recently a little bit. I still don't like to lose, but I do know the importance of losing and how it can help me improve in every aspect of my game. You see, League is a competitive game in nature, so that makes you want to get better so you can, one, play better people, and two, win more. Because 9 times out of 10, if you're not winning, you're not having fun. But if you want to win, you also have to lose. Therefore, you can find a way to improve, which then leads to wins. But since we're human, and humans are stupid, we can't figure out that we need to lose to improve. And that our losses are usually caused by us instead of external factors that we can't control. An example being teammates. Now, not every game is winnable. We still are in a solo queue 5v5 format, which means you have 4 random teammates that won't listen to you and will never listen to you unless you get blessed by God. And sometimes even that's not enough. You might still get skill dips at the end of the day. Even the games that are won have mistakes being made in them constantly. And whether they go punished or unnoticed is completely up to the players within the game. If they were punished, well played, that player now has an advantage over the other. If it wasn't punished, now you have to wait again for them to make another mistake for you to punish that one. And if you keep missing, well then you'll just never get the advantage over the other player until you finally punish them for making that mistake. Whoever makes the least amount of mistakes on either team is usually the team that wins. But you know just as well as I know, we're horrible. Which means we're going to make mistakes. So how do we turn these mistakes that turn into losses into improvement? The simple answer is don't make the same mistake twice. Well, since that only applies to smart people, and we play League of Legends, it may just take us a little bit longer. Sometimes it's just a habit at this point. But the good thing is that we're aware of it. Once you become aware of it, you can now start to fix it. But becoming aware of it is the hard and boring part. Hard because maybe it's already a habit at this point and somebody else has to point it out for you and explain why it's bad. Boring being, it's not a habit, but you now have to go into replay and watch your replay, which is boring. At least for me, but I still do it because I want to improve. Now, speaking of replay, let's talk about the type of replays that we want to watch. We want to mainly watch losses and games that we won but played horrible in. This way, we're only focusing on losses and won games where we still lost, technically. And if we want to narrow it down even more and keep it to the bare minimum, such as like playing out lane, well, then you just look at all your deaths during laning phase. Let's look at a mistake that I've been making since the start of me playing League. Now, if you said I'm an absolute shitter and that I suck at this game, you'd be completely right. Me personally, I have a really bad habit of over-clicking. And like I said, this is something that I've been doing since the start of me playing the game. And only now am I just realizing that it's a really bad habit. And since I had nobody else to point it out to me, the only way I figured out that I was doing that was through the VOD review. Hell, I could have just pointed it out for a couple of y'all as well. Now, even though that game didn't end in a loss, I played the lane extremely poorly, which is why I went back and reviewed it in the first place. Now, I must warn you, when you watch back your replay, you're going to be disgusted. You're going to realize so quickly that you are such a terrible player and not the caliber of player you wish and thought you were. In the heat of the moment, we think we're doing better than what we actually are, and until we go back and look at the replay, we're oblivious to all the mistakes we're making. Another amazing thing is that we don't even have to solely watch only our replays. We have pro replays as well. Now, with me saying that, I know I'll probably upset a couple of the casual players. That's too bad. If you're not trying to win and have to seriously try to win, don't play ranked. But getting back on topic with the pro replays, whenever you watch a pro play, their mechanics are 20 times better than yours and decision making even more, right? So we can use some of that. We can borrow a little bit from them. Oh, there's a niche counter pick for a certain champ. You can borrow that. Because whenever somebody finds out a strategy that works consistently, everybody else will start to know about it. Once you put something out there and people can find a use for it, it's no longer a secret because you put it out. This also applies to your lane opponents. They might do something to you in a specific matchup that you didn't know was possible, and now you go try it yourself, and it's amazing. And now you just improve your game by getting your ass kicked. And while all of this is entirely possible solely by winning, you don't get it nearly as much as you would by losing. Okay, so now that I've drilled it into your head that losing is good for improvement, we need to talk about how to take the pain off of losing. Because if I was just to sit there and tell you that, hey, you're losing, you're doing great, you can improve from this, you just get more mad at the end of the day, which would just do more harm than good, and that's not the point. So what's the solution? Minimize tilt. That probably just made you more mad, didn't it? Let me explain though. There's a couple of ways we can minimize tilt. One of them being to stop playing for LP. LP in our case is the root of all evil. When you play for LP, that's when you start to get tilted for losses. So simply put, if we stop playing to win our games and play to improve, we won't get mad at losses anymore. Now, I'm not telling you to stop trying to win, okay? Because if you get in my game and troll me, you will be reported. And I'd hope you do the same if I'm in your game. But getting back on topic, this is not foolproof. Because a good loss streak will kick both of us in the ass. And the way to not tilt any further from this one is to just take a break and stop playing. Go do something else. Play a different game, read a book, watch YouTube, find food, something. Just stop playing the game for a bit. Just find a way to reset your mental. Everybody talks about it, and it's true. Tilt queuing just absolutely destroys your rank. I am proof of that. I mean, just look at these 2 screenshots. It's a sea of red. This is when you actively start self-sabotaging. And then all your work would be for nothing. And then at that point, you'll soon start to lose the joy for the game. Luckily for me, though, I was about to go on vacation, so I just queued up again. It was just like, all good, all good, all good. That ended up on like a 17 loss streak or some shit like that. But since I was going to be gone for a week, I didn't care if I was losing. I was just queuing up and trying again. Queuing up, trying again. Not even worried about improving. I just wanted to try to get a win, and I never got one. All because I was tilt queuing. All it would have taken was for me to take a minuscule break, and I'd have been fine. But the good thing is, throughout all those losses, I learned one thing. I'm not a top laner. Mid is my home, and if you guys look at my most recent match history, I've been going pretty crazy on the Orianna. That's all I've got, though. If you enjoyed the video, please consider liking, subscribing. I greatly appreciate it, and I'm almost at 500, so please help me reach that goal. That's it. Have a good day. Oh, and here are some bloopers. I said I was going to start wide reviewing, and that's what made my perspective. Oh, God. Oh, my God. That was horrible. I've always known that losing isn't quote-unquote bad and that, like, it's needed for improvement, but I've never really, like, truly. Yeah, now I'm not using it. I always knew that when you lose, that means you fucked up somewhere, but since I wasn't reviewing or looking back at my games or none of that, or, like, even analyzing my deaths quickly after I died, I just wouldn't know. Yeah, why did Jesus Christ.